Hi, I'm Brandon Rody, the former lighting chair here at Muhammad Seymour High School with extensive experience in lighting control systems. This is the first video in a series documenting the use of the ETC Nomad Eos lighting control and programming system for any future uses. This video will go over the basics of how to make sure everything is plugged in, how to open up the file from multiple places, how to manipulate the lights, and how to go between preset cues. Future videos will go into more in-depth into all of these things. Here at Muhammad Seymour High School, we have a 5-prong DMX that runs to backstage in the dimmer box, into a Gadget 2 that allows the 5-prong DMX to be plugged into a USB adapter that then goes into a USB manifold with this green thing here. That is the license that we can run the program, and that then runs into the laptop. Something to be very careful of is these buttons. If you press that, you can no longer use the system and it does not respond to any commands. Now to get the program started, it's very simple. Simply open the laptop. It should turn on. And then enter in the password, all caps ELY, E-L-Y. Pressing enter, you have the mouse which you can turn on and wait for the computer to open. Once you have opened the computer, there are 2 ways to launch the EOS program. The first way is by going over to this icon, double-clicking with the left mouse, opening up this screen, going to primary, and this will open up the last file that you had opened. In this case, it is the Music 2.0. Now the other way to open up a file is very simple. We can go into the file management, going to show archive, going to the current year or whatever show you want to do. For this example, we'll do VShow 2025. Double clicking on that, and you have all of the saved shows. Going to the most recent, so going to date modified, and going to the latest one. In this case, 2/11 would be the latest show file. And then opening this up will give us the same screen as we saw before, closing that menu, and everything is there. You have the console open, you'll want to play with the lights and mess with them. Let's say we want to turn addresses 1 and 2 to full. You can, in this menu, click on these, or type 1 plus 2 on the keyboard, and then pressing A for at, and then type in your intensity value, in this case, 100%. Pressing enter will complete this command, and the lights will turn on with no fade time. We can put it to 50% by going A for at, and then 50%, and then pressing enter will dim them down. If we want to turn them off, we can go at 0 enter, or going back to 50%, we can go at O, which will turn them completely out. If you want to turn them back on without having to type in a number value, you can type in full twice, which will complete the command. Same for out. So full, turn them on, and then O for turning them off. This is a very quick way of not having to worry about numbers and just turn them on or off. You can also make and record groups. For example, if I know lights 1, 3, 5, and 6 are all on one part of the stage that I want eliminated, it might take a lot of time to click those channels every single time I want to turn on that area of the stage. Instead, we can make groups, and that is very simple. Click on 1, 3, 5, and 6, and then record group, which is RG on the keyboard, and you can set that group to, for example, 10, and press enter. That will save that as 10. One way we can check that is to go to the top left menu and go to groups, and you will see 10 is 1, 3, and then 5 through 6. Pressing this to go out of it. If we turn on that group by pressing G10 on the keyboard to at full with AF, pressing enter, it will turn the addresses that we assigned to that group on. And then we can manipulate these instead of individually, all as a group. set it to 50%. Very simple, very easy. And then out again. And pressing backspace on the keyboard to remove that prompt. Another thing you might want to do is advancing between cues. If you already have a show file up, you'll want to go between all of these to make the show happen into advanced cues. And it's very easy to do that. All you have to do is press the space button on the keyboard to advance to a cue. In this case, we went to cue 0.01. Pressing it again, 0.5, again, 1, and so on and so on. Let's say we want to go back a cue. Let's say we want to go from cue 5 to cue 1. All you do is press Control, space. Pressing that again to go from 1 to 0.5. This will go back a cue. Let's say we have a cue like cue 1 that has a duration of 5 seconds, and we accidentally click it. Oh shoot, I didn't mean to do this. Simply press Control space, and that will pause the command. Cues are a very useful thing. Saving them and going between them can make the show a lot easier. You don't have to change the lights on the fly. It's very easy to make. All the lights off, I can go 1 through 1,000. We don't have that many. And then turn them all off. Additionally, when you want to manipulate channels, instead of clicking 1 plus 2 plus 3, you can click 1 through whatever number you want to turn 1 through that number on. Cues are very easy. Let's say I want this to be black. The stage should be black for this part. And note, I can see none of the lights are on. This is what I want. I can simply record cue, which is our cue, and then I will make this cue number 500. Pressing enter to complete that command, you can see a new cue is made. There are some things you can do with this cue. One of the easy ones is changing the duration. For example, I can make this take 1 second by typing in I and then 1, pressing enter to complete that. I can change the label in the notes by simply clicking here, typing in here, pressing enter. If you want to escape, go away from this, you simply press escape. I can type in a note here, pressing enter. Now I want to make a cue where the stage is 50% lit up. I can select the lights I want, let's say 1 through 10 by pressing 1T10 and put them A for at, and then to 50%, and then enter. That will turn those lights to 50%. And I can record this cue by pressing RQ, and then let's call this 501. And I want the fade time to be 10 seconds, so simply pressing I10 will make that 10 seconds. So if we see what we did, we go from 500, which is black, to 501, which has the stage at 50%, taking 10 seconds. And there we go, you've made your first cue. Very simple, very easy to do. But let's say you want to change this cue. You want 501 to have 19 through 20 at full. And you want that to be the look. If you simply leave this on, go back, and then to it, you will see that those are on. This works for now, but if you leave the file and then come back to it, these will not be saved. You can tell that because it's red. This is a non-permanent change. We can go through some of the cues, they won't stay. When we go back to it, it's not going to turn on because we did not save that change. So if we want both these lights to be on and we want to save that, we can RQ to record cue, and we can enter in 501 to save that to 501, or by pressing enter twice, it will automatically go to the cue you are in. Very simple, very easy to do, very easy to manipulate cues. Now, a very important thing you should always do is saving and exiting your file. You don't want to leave this screen up for anyone to come in and do stuff. So you want to turn all the lights off first so that you don't waste the bulbs by pressing Control G or go to cue and then out. Enter will bring you to a cue above whatever one you made. This is the cue with everything out. Clicking this up arrow, you'll see this menu. You go to File, click down. If you click here, it will save as the last thing you saved it as, or if you save as, you can go to your file management system. Let's say we want to save this as lights images testing 1 and override that. By clicking there, enter, and we will save it to that location. and it will save, and we can return to that file location later should we choose. And then, once all that's done, click up again the file, exit, enter, and it will close the program. Now you know the basic operations and can get started. The next video will go more into depth into the patching process and the startup of a new file for a new show. Thank you.